Hey, welcome to Punish Dave with Questions with Mark and Dave. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're
I,
doing well.
I guess I said tortured by questions.
Yeah, actually, I like
same,
that.
Same difference.
We could change it. We can start.
No, it's fine. Whatever. It's fine. Whatever we call it, it's fine. It's just I'll put whatever I feel like putting in this titling screen.
Yeah, that's cool. How's it going? Have a good week.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I like that. Whip by questions.
Whipped by questions.
Yeah,
every day, constantly. Questions upon questions upon questions.
He shall be punished. Shame.
Some are more punishing than others.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh man. So I want to start off the show. I went to see Pearl Jam last night.
You did?
Yeah. It was fucking amazing.
Cool.
I don't know if you like Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Sure.
So Josh Rivera from Sweetwater, who is our kind of we work with him, over at Sweetwater, and his band called Dead Pioneers opened up for Pearl Jam.
Oh,
and they're opening up again tomorrow night as well.
Oh, cool.
Pearl Jam's doing 2 nights, like in several cities.
That's a cool shirt.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a cool looking shirt. I like the
logo, a PJ.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, me either.
Lightning bolts, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a phenomenal show. He sounded amazing. Eddie Vedder, his voice was as good as it was 30 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. They did a lot of songs off the first album, a couple from the second. Yeah, it was really, really good. So, and Dead Pioneers. Everybody check out Dead Pioneers from Josh Rivera's band. Different kind of it's kind of rap or spoken poems or speech going on with like heavy music. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was different, definitely different. So anyway, so that was really fun. So thanks to Josh for that. And and then Mario texted me. He's like, "Oh, I know the guy who is his name is Ian, who is the tech for Josh, what's his name? Josh
Klinghoffer?
Yeah. Yeah, he played guitar for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's playing like background guitar and keyboards for Pearl Jam.
Yeah, he has for a while.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was clueless to that. So Mario was like, "Oh, go meet up with Ian after the show." And I was like, my phone died right. It was like 1%, like 20 minutes before the last song of the show. And I had one too many. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to meet anybody. So Ian, maybe next time, hopefully, if you're around. So anyway, what's going on with you, man? How was your week?
I don't think anything's going. Oh, yesterday I was. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, I'm sorry. Wednesday, which is my day for the factory. Normally, I didn't go to the factory, and Dave Rude from Tesla came in town.
Oh, nice.
And he wanted to hear a bunch of amps. So first we took him to the factory and saw all that, and then brought him back to the shop with a couple guitars in hand from the factory, and then listened to amps for hours.
Nice.
And then went to the brewery down the street, and then had dinner.
Sweet.
So it was a whole day.
Good day. Good hang.
Yeah, it was a good hang. It was fun. Yeah, Dave's awesome. He's an awesome guy. Just like I wish everyone was like cool as him.
Yeah, he's totally laid back.
He's laid back and just nice. It's awesome.
Chill. Yep.
That's
awesome. Yep. That's cool. I saw that Pete Thorne went to the Kings, like a hockey game. He was with Caleb from Nerd Halen.
Oh yeah, yep. He did.
popped up on my Instagram.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
unfortunately, his team lost.
yeah. They were rooting for opposite teams, I gather. So,
Well, Pete was rooting for Edmonton,
right.
because he's from Edmonton, and then LA won.
Yeah, right.
Oh
well.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Canada will come back. So, all right, we got some questions right off the bat.
Right off the bat, come on. Wait a bit.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me get ready.
All right, take a shot.
No shots allowed.
Calviopus, I think I'm saying that right. What's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Wow, finally able to catch y'all live. Any knowledge or opinion on Homestead amps, formerly Diaz amps made by Cesar Diaz?
Man, unfortunately, I know the name sort of, but I don't know the amps at all. So I have nothing to say about it. I do remember Cesar Diaz, and I even remember meeting Cesar Diaz, but that was a long time ago.
And what was he attack?
Cesar Diaz was like Stevie Ray Vaughan's guy originally.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm looking at a Homestead right now on Reverb. Homestead 100 red Tolex for $3,000. 6550, 4 power tubes. Peter McMahon is the builder. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't. I mean, I've heard the name Homestead amps. I don't know anything about it at all. Zero, zilch.
Yeah, they look kind of
not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, they look kind of country and westernish, but I can't tell whether it's a Marshall based or Fender style or what. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But thanks for the question. Scott Robertson, Dave, thank you for your customer service. The Run 50 is fabulous. Can you tell us about the boost circuit and can it be foot switchable?
Well, I mean, the boost circuit in the stock amp, if that's what you're asking, all that is a cathode cap on one cathode, the second stage. So really, it's more like a BE circuit when it's boosted in, and it's a little cut in gain when it's out. Can it be foot switchable? I can make it foot switchable, sure. I can do that. If that's something you want, reach out to me. I can do it.
Okay. Yeah, Brian has a cool question. I was interested. Did you have anything to do with the Tone King? Release?
No, but I mean, it's the same company. I mean, it's the same company. Yeah. I mean, I listened to it. I kind of was a consultant on it a little bit. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it sounds good. I haven't heard it in person, but I saw a video.
It's not I mean, it's a clean preamp, and and the other channel is like the channel on an Imperial. It's like kind of a ratty crack, cranked up semi-gritty kind of tone. It's not like a Marshall or anything, or it's not going to do anything like that. Although you could it has an external loop on it, so you could add like an IRX or something into that external loop and then have a whole preamp base that have 4 channels.
Wow.
If you control it with MIDI, hey.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Tone King is definitely more like mild breakup.
Yeah, more retro in its character. It's really cool. It's also got a cool like little phase inverter circuit that it's like you're distorting a power section of an amp. It's kind of neat.
Michael Nielsen, what's going on, Michael? Hope you're doing good. I saw it. He had an awesome, funny video that came out either today or yesterday. Did you see that? The video where if pedals were porn stars?
I didn't see that. It sounds interesting.
It was really funny. He had Michael, you're so fucking funny.
Now I gotta go look.
Yeah.
You're trying to get clicks, aren't you?
Yeah, that is that's a quick one. Exactly.
Clickbait.
Clickbait, exactly. So the Diaz amps are very Fender, but usually with tighter bottom, more traditional voicing than Dumble, but some extra gain on some, great sounding, but like great Fender without flub.
Cool.
Okay, that's cool. Now that I know, if I see one in the wild for a good price, maybe I'll grab one. Okay. Peter Magarelli wants to know, Dave, can you come to his house for milk and homemade cookies?
Well, I'm not much of no. Here's why. I'm not much of a milk guy. In fact, I'm not a milk guy at all, and I won't drink it. And I definitely probably won't do the sweets. Not much of a sweets guy either.
Yeah. See, this is more from up my alley, Peter. I'm gonna come over. That's too funny. Let's see. Michael Torin is here. Where do I see Michael Torin? Did I miss him somewhere in the chat? Oh, here he is.
Hey, Michael.
What's going on? So we got Michael Nielsen and Mike Torin, two awesome dudes, with killer gear and great players. So, let's see. Dave, can you tell us when the first Jose amps are going to drop?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Trump?
Oh yeah, let's go there.
You don't know how many things. You don't know how many things it's holding us up.
In what ways? Tell me.
Oh, let's see. The shielded wire we use in amps comes from China. It's sitting there ready to be shipped to us, but not at 145% tariff.
So they already had the tariff on.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tubes, the preamp tubes I want to use also don't have because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of endless.
Well, it's interesting because I saw a video today. Dr. Z did a video on, kind of broke down, what in his amps are USA made versus the other parts that are not, and how he's going to try to control as much as he can with what he uses in the USA. But but there are things that he didn't mention, like
I'd love to hear that. So I think I saw that video or saw a clip. I didn't look at it yet, but
yeah.
I mean,
things are going up basically. I mean,
tubes kind of fucked because the tubes you want to use are the cool Chinese ones that just came available again. That's what I wanted to use, but no, Well, we have some. I think we might be okay for the first half of it, and maybe it'll get resolved. And oh yeah, okay, you'd like to say that, but there's things about it. So like, yeah, our chassis come from Chapman Metal, which is here in California, but where's their steel coming from?
Right.
And it's not. And even when I asked him about that, I go, U.S. steel. What do you mean? It's the U.S. steel is made from ingot from China. He goes, it's all the same thing. He goes, it doesn't make any difference, And he told me it's like we sell them scrap steel to melt down to make ingot to then bring back and make it into steel again. It sounds ridiculous, but
it's probably because of regulations, right?
I actually don't know. Well, there's not many people that make ingot. I think there's only a couple, China and someone else or something. You know what? Don't quote me on this stuff because he told me and I've already forgotten half of what he told me. So there's that. Okay. Our capacitors, our Synergy mustard caps that we use are made in the US, and those have not gone up in price. But, I'm not exactly sure where the foil that they make the capacitors with is made. I don't know. Where the leads that go on it, where are those made? Don't know. Probably not here. So, we're okay for right now. Every other component on a circuit board, though, everything else is made overseas.
And while the transformers might be made here in the USA, again, the metal,
the question is, where's the metal coming from? Where's the wire coming from exactly? Transformers are made here also, yes. So, our head shells are made here, in-house. But then again, the wood comes from another country, like the Baltic birch is Canada generally.
Mhm.
And they're not too happy. and then you have our Tolex. By the way, no Tolex is made here. It's all. I mean, there's a company here that technically is a U.S. company, but it's made overseas. You can't. I mean, handles. Oh, guess what? Not made here.
Mhm.
Good luck finding a handle made here. Rubber feet on an amp. Not made here. Most of the screws you use, not made here.
These are decisions that were made years and years and years ago to have manufacturing overseas.
I mean, what else? What else are we going to go into? Our cardboard boxes, I think, are made here. The foam is made here. Our foot switches aren't made here. So, we're it's a big.
So what percentage would you say would 70-30? Would you say 70 American, 30% or more?
70 American?
Yeah. So you're thinking it's flipped, 30% American,
yeah,
70%.
Yeah, it's more flipped.
Wow. Okay.
There's no in electronics. There are no components made in the U.S. Very few, if at all. No chips of any kind. No transistors of any kind. Almost no capacitors of any kind. There are some options for capacitors here and there in different countries, and some are made in Taiwan, and some are in China, and some are Malaysia, and some, you'd have to analyze it all, but yeah, resistors. Oh yeah, there's hardly any U.S. brands of resistors
here. Okay, I mean, I see all the comments in the chat, and I see some interesting comments from people. But this is what it comes down to: burst effects. I've been planning to launch a new pedal this year, but now I'm not sure we can still afford to.
Yeah,
and I've seen this. There's, we can all say, yeah, we want everything made in America. I'd love to have everything made in America. I have nothing against.
It doesn't matter. You know what? You can't.
It's impossible.
Here's why. Well, let's not even get into the fact that you'd have to build the infrastructure to do it, which would take as long as it took to offshore it, which is like 30 years. So that's one thing, but there's not even there's not the people that even know how to make the things. There's not enough tooling engineers in the US. Someone put it interesting, tooling engineers that make little jigs and things that actually hold a part for a CNC machine to, say, carve it out and stuff. There's very few of those in the US, actually, engineers that do that kind of work left. In a place like China, they can fill a football stadium with engineers like that.
Right.
It's and even if it is made here, chances are it's going to be made worse, and chances are it's going to cost you way more.
Yeah, I mean, way more. That's
way more.
If it was just, an extra 30%, I think we'd all 50%, we'd probably all be happy to chip in. So Americans going to have jobs and, but it's going to be like 3 times more.
Yeah. Or 4.
Right.
Oh, it's just like even auto industry. They talk about this all the time. It's like, if auto industry brings some more stuff back, Well, that's fine and dandy, but it's not going to create any jobs because it's all going to be robots doing it.
David can't even get his frickin' candy from Sweetwater. Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding.
Can't get their candy in stock. There you go. No candy. There you go. See?
That's probably made overseas. Who knows? I'm just kidding. But that's fine.
I don't know.
You never know. You never know. Burris Effects looks like cool stuff. I just checked out your website. They're all made in Nashville. Cool stuff. I hope things work out. Yeah, American labor is way more expensive. Absolutely.
It's way more expensive and frankly, from things that I've seen too, not always better. In fact, maybe the opposite. More expensive, but inferior.
Yeah.
The work ethic is not the same.
Yeah.
It really is. It really isn't, especially these days.
Well, there's also a different mentality when people are under a communistic regime and making products.
Sure.
So.
But there's other countries that actually make products that aren't under that communistic regime.
That's true.
Mexico and that it's different work ethic.
Yeah. No, I agree. Sonic Blue 1922. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the show, guys. Dave, I know the circuits are different, but can you get Jose-ish tones from a BE Deluxe? Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's some similarities in the circuit. Yeah. I might be doing so my own personal BE Deluxe that I have here is kind of been let's say it's not quite a BE Deluxe anymore. It's sort of been highly simplified and improved upon. And I might come out with a little run of those, like Dave's Choice, so to speak. It was interesting when we did a shootout with Dave Rude here. It won.
Really?
Out of all the amps.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole
so I might throw into production a special run of those.
Huh.
Because I think it'd be cool. It's hard to explain. I took most of the switches off. I made solid choices between the 3 channels. And it just even more open and even just more different.
Okay.
Hard to explain.
Gotcha. Okay.
Highly like tweaked. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, that's cool. That sounds great. Custom shop release. Right?
Yeah, I might do that soon.
Zeke Downey, what's going on, man? Hey Dave, what EL34s in your opinion sound best these days? The JJ Electro Harmonics, PS Vane, and your amps. Thanks.
I mean, I would say the PS Vane and or the JJ. They're a little different than each other. I like both. So I mean, both have been solid though. I mean, the PS Vanes have been extremely solid because most of the production amps we use the PS Vanes in. And I'd never have them fail in the field. Ever. JJ's occasionally get fails. They've been pretty strong lately too. So.
Okay. Triv 108. Thanks for the super chat. Do you do a Friedman AC30? That's coming. What improvements would you make on the original? What do you dislike about the AC30 sound and this design, and what do you like?
Something I really dislike about the AC30. I mean, the AC30, the original AC30 top boost. I would prefer the top boost circuit, which is basically the circuit that has a volume and a treble and a bass. And I prefer vintage AC30s, like copper top AC30s. So like the one that I own was a Mark Sampson modified at top boost add-on to a copper top AC30. So The tremolo channel is kind of useless. I don't think that's useful at all. And the normal channel is cool if you're doesn't have the EQ. If you're just going to use like the famous thing was, Brian May would use a normal channel with a treble booster in front, and that's super cool. But you need the treble booster kind of to do that. So I mean, I did something that's a little different. The channels will be blendable, possible to blend them, and we have a couple options on the more normal channel, so it's going to be a 2-channel amp, but on the normal channel we have a few options because there was some different specs that they used for the normal channel. There could be a bright channel, a normal channel, or a bass spec channel, and there's a few things you can do with that channel that's kind of neat. Then I got to decide what speakers I'm going to use. You would think Vox Blue, but I'm not totally set on that yet.
Okay. What do you think of the AC-15?
Like, it's cool.
The recent hand-wired one that they did with the top boost.
I don't know if I've heard the most recent hand-wired, but the other, like the AC-30 hand-wired, was pretty good that they did. That sounded good.
Yeah, there's one.
I always fall a little short. Like the companies fall a little short sometimes with the newer reissues with transformers and things. They're not as good as if, we'll be using Haybor transformers and stuff, and they're just made a little rich. They sound a little more like old stuff, a little slightly richer in the transformers, the sound of them.
It just adds up.
Kind of all adds up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like cranking an amp to get its distortion or semi grittiness. It's like if it starts being harsh, it starts to not be great. That's what you're like kind of hating about it.
Right. You want it to be sweet and warm and
sweet, but still bright and cool. And
yeah,
I have a perfect example. So the goal of that amp will be to dial it in so it sounds exactly like my old amp.
Right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And is it just as simple as like copying the circuit, or you have to?
No, sometimes you got to do other things. I mean, you first kind of copy the circuit, but then you have to play around with voltages, and you have to play around with maybe the kind of capacitor you use here or there. Sometimes for modern components, you have to make a slight tweak in something to make it sound like an old thing.
Okay.
I'll get it. It won't be that hard.
All right. Well, and that's coming down the line, but no release date.
I'm actively working on that, so I don't have a release date yet. And as far as that Jose thing too, I'm thinking June. We are moving ahead and finding ways around our problems.
It may affect the price.
Yeah. I don't know yet. I hope not. I hope we can keep it. The fact that we're selling it direct might be able to mean we can keep it where it's at.
Okay. Roger Dat, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Dave, Slovakian tubes no good. I got a pair of 12AX7s under Telefunken brand, and they are both very quiet. Only problem is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, old Telefunken tubes are great. Sure.
If they're old.
Great,
Or they,
I mean, Slovakian tubes, that also means the current JJs. So, I mean, they're made in Slovakia. So,
weren't Telefunken tubes made in the UK back in the day?
No, not Telefunken.
No, okay.
Mullards were made in the UK.
Or I was thinking maybe Germany, Telefunken.
No, I don't think so. I think they were in Slovakia, or Czechoslovakia at the time.
Interesting. Okay.
I think. Could be wrong.
Let's see. Triv 108 again. What's going on, man? Do you remember the 400-watt Marshall called 2000 series? It was odd. What do you dislike regarding the Marshall Major? Thoughts on the new Ronson Wah?
I don't know what the new Ronson Wah is. That's a new one to me. I didn't see that. The 400-watt. I remember the 400-watt Marshall, the 2000 series. In fact, I think I know someone that has one.
400 watts.
They use it for bass. What do I like about the Marshall? Marshall Major can be cool. Man, there's nothing quite like modifying a Marshall Major. It sounds like a freight train coming at you when you're done with it. It's just so percussive and like girthy. It's man, it's good. It's really good. I'm also scared of them because they'll eat tubes and they're not so nice on tubes.
What are they, 200 watts?
Yeah. And they're not so nice on tubes. There's really high voltages and stuff. And they, and tubes, if you blow a set of power tubes in something like that, it's expensive. I mean, it's like a $400 tube set.
Right.
Something like that. I don't know the current prices. I have to look.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I've never played out of a Marshall Major, and I never saw.
Well, by itself is not like that. You'd have to turn it up to really get it to distort enough, then you go deaf, basically.
You got to throw it. What could you even throw it into an attenuator like a Fryette, or you'd be kind of hard?
Well, Fryette claims you sort of can, and I think with the Red Hot Chili Peppers they are. But I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know about that.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the Marshall Bluesbreaker combo? I don't think we've ever discussed like Marshall combos.
Old ones?
Yeah.
Or reissue ones?
Well, reissue ones.
Reissue ones are just shit.
Really?
Yeah, the reissue ones aren't worth. It's nothing like an old one. I mean, it's not any. I mean, the JTM 45 reissues and stuff. They just don't. They didn't do it right at all. Really. I mean, it's kind of okay, but the old one is so rich and great sounding, and so like a real Bluesbreakers combo sounds really cool.
But the newer ones, nah.
I don't think it's worth it.
Okay. Yeah, they're expensive.
It's not worth doing.
Okay. Interesting. And the Ronson Wah, I have no idea. I'll have to check.
I'm assuming that's Mick Ronson.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And no, I don't know. I mean, is that something from Dunlop, or I don't even. Oh. Well, I have the internet in front of me. I guess I could look, huh?
I'm looking it up also. Bronson Wah. Oh, there it is. It's red and blue.
Oh, it is Dunlop. And it's expensive.
$249.
What makes it that expensive? That's what I'd like to know. Or huh?
I don't know. They have to pay Mick Ronson's.
It looks cool.
Yeah, the paint job looks nice on it.
Wonder what the deal is with that. Wait, close friend, bona fide legendary producer. Oh, wait a minute.
Bob Rock has something to do with it.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on the website. Someone wrote, "Good Lord, what a great pedal. Nailed the tone I've been chasing for years. Long live Rano." Oh, interesting. I'll have to check out the demo on this thing.
Oh, I'm reading the whole marketing line with Mick. I guess Mick and Bob actually worked closely together on the original thing.
Interesting.
Wow. Oh, now I'm curious.
Yeah. It says,
Ooh, I got to hit Bob up.
The Dunlop Mick Ronson Crybaby is a testament to late legendary's tone crafting tenacity, method constructed with the help of Ronson's close friend, collaborator, and bona fide legendary producer in his own right, Bob Rock. Very cool. Because Bob loaned Dunlop the actual Crybaby Wah used by Mick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's interesting. All right, cool. Learned something new today. Oh, there were a couple other releases that came out recently, or one other. Did you see the Brothers AM pedal?
Yeah.
Another King of Tone.
King of Tone, but with MIDI and all sorts of options and all sorts of stuff. And
Treble booster.
It just like kills me. I mean, Chase Bliss pedals sound really cool, and they're great pedals, and I have nothing against them at all. But the older I get, the less complicated I want things.
Yeah, that's super complicated.
And the more you're adding MIDI and stuff into stuff like that, the less I'm interested. And in fact, I see it all the time. It's just like, it's like a car too. You know, it's like an old classic car. There's nothing there, right? There's nothing to get in the way. There's no computer to break. There's no nothing. There's not, you know, it's simple. It's straightforward and it works great. Even a Ferrari, which is a very high expensive car, you know, just there's no frills in it. And there's something to be said for that.
Simplicity.
Oh, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I've heard videos. It sounds great. It's cool. You know, it's just like it's after a while though, especially in small format pedals and stuff. It's like, oh, you got to use the micro MIDI thing. Okay, well, that's a pain in the ass. And then you gotta, you know, you can't actually see anything because there's no screen on it, so you don't really know where you're at. You have to send it a program change. It's
See, well, your perspective on these things is completely different because you actually are using these pedals and programming them for
yes,
rigs, and
yeah.
it's not like you're just using it for yourself, you know. So
No, I'm not using it for myself, and I'm the perspective I have is I just see time and time again people's faces gloss over when you're trying to explain how to use it to them. You know, the average person doesn't want it that complicated. There are some people that use all the features, and that's cool. That's great. They're that type of people, you know.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, the funny thing is you see the big famous guitar player and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just using 8-10 Boss pedals into the front of whatever, an amp or something, and that's it. One amp, no channels. You know, and it's I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah.
Find it interesting.
Well, yeah, I get it. All right, Pentatonic Prancer, what's up? Hey guys, Dave, I have a Marshall SV20H that I want VH specs. Do you put synergy caps or doesn't make a difference?
No, you don't need to do that. But you can dial it in to do that VH spec thing, sure, for sure. It's kind of a minor mod to that amp. You can improve it a lot.
Is it a good time to send it, or it depends?
I can probably take it soon. Hey, email me and we'll talk about it. That's not that a difficult one to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I've got mine right there.
Yeah, but that's not Van Halen spec. That's like
that's
super gain mod.
Yeah, Jose stuff. That's a cool amp, though. Yeah,
the SV20H is an amazing amp. I think they're good amps. I think it would be great.
Can a JJ-KT77 handle 600 volts as per the data sheet?
Maybe. What has 600 volts though? I mean, hardly anything has 600 volts, so almost nothing. I would say Marshall shy Major? Under that.
Marshall Major?
Well, maybe. Actually, I don't even remember what that is. I mean, stuff that's like really hard on tubes is stuff like old Laney's super group amps and stuff that had 520 volts or something around there. And that's rough on tubes. I always say it's best to use this amp with a 110 on the Variac. just to keep it at safer voltages.
Right. Okay. That would be great, Dave. Put me on the list for that Dave's Choice BE50. Superb idea.
Actually, it was a B100, but
okay. Well, thanks, Fowler. We appreciate it.
I think I'm going to call it Dave's Choice.
Yeah,
because it's Dave's Choice. That's what it is. I just made a decision what everything needed to be, so you didn't have to fuck around with all the switches and stuff.
Right. It's what you would have if it was your amp.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fine. Over time, you just with feedback and your own taste and stuff, you kind of hone it all in, you know. Yes, there's always options, and that's kind of cool because you can do different things with certain things. But like, what do I really want? This is what I really want.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll sell well. Nice for a small run. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I want to do more small runs. I find it's fun. You know, you can do cool. I might even do some collaborations.
There you go.
In fact, that was brought up on the last show, the Amp Talk show I did.
Yeah, like in what way?
I might do an amp collaboration with, say, Dan Gower or something.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's you know, back and forth, and you I guess you each have an amp, and you each do what on each end. The people, and I don't know. We'd have to figure it out. I haven't figured that out yet. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's going to happen yet, but
hey, well, it sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what Jason and Shay did for my amp.
Yeah. It's like a little collab. It would be just a little run, a little small run or something.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Ed Guillermo, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Yes, that is a third power 25 watt Dragon Satriani.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
They're making a 25 watt one?
Yeah, they have a 25 watt. I think they have got like a 45 watt one and then a 100 watt.
Oh.
So
how do you like it?
I like it. I think it's very cool. Yeah,
awesome.
It's very good. Yeah, it's different. I think it's built off of 6v6 tubes, which I wouldn't have expected, to be honest with you. Because
I mean, you can only do so much with different the what you're going to use for the power, and at 25 watts, that makes sense.
Yeah. So no, I think it sounds great. Delana does a great job. It's got a good ear. It's got some really cool features, like tonal features, where you can mess with different hertz, and also it's got this cascade switch where it can go to like real. It's not like saturated, but it almost becomes like this singing, sustainy, tone where you can just hit a note and it'll just start feeding back, and it's very cool. I really dig it. I do. I like it. It's different. Yeah, it's still got plexi. It's like between plexi and like a Soldano kind of thing going on. But yeah, I really dig it. I like what Delana puts out. She's got good products. So, okay. Daniel Belinsky, what's going on, man? How come so few amps are using MIDI? Simplicity?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of amps that are using MIDI.
Doesn't Sir, like Pete Thorne's amp, have a MIDI?
Pete Thorne, well, the larger amp has MIDI, not the little one. Okay. And there's other ones. I mean, there's an EVH amp that uses MIDI. There's the head first amps use MIDI. Shoot, I don't know.
Wasn't Diesel?
Well, I gotta say, there's a lot of people that just don't use MIDI.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the Soldano Astros MIDI. The Diesel has been MIDI for years. The VH4 at least.
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't use MIDI though. It's interesting.
I've never gotten into it, and so many things.
I mean, it makes things easy because you don't need a switcher to switch the amp if you have some sort of MIDI switcher and you're doing that whole thing. I understand that. It really sort of depends on how many features are in the amp and do you really need it or not, you know.
Haven't
If
they
it's a
been claiming,
2-channel amp, you kind of don't need MIDI. Come on. I mean, like, it's like kind of a waste.
and haven't they been claiming that there's going to be a MIDI 2.0 coming at some point?
Well, yeah, but correct. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but we'll see.
Okay. I don't know what
Um,
that means. I just know that I read about it. So
I'm like hit and miss on it. I mean, if the amp has lots of features, it makes a lot of sense to have it. That
like the
so
VH4.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm even surprised how many people that use like our IRX pedals, the IR series of pedals are MIDI. But I'm actually shocked at how many people don't use it with a MIDI controller. I mean, it makes it so much more versatile with a MIDI controller if you just have presets set up.
Right.
Than if you're just stomping on the switches. But the vast majority of people just stomp on the switches. And I mean, even if you get a little 4-button Hotone MIDI controller, that's just really thin and skinny and you can put it on your board, that makes a lot more sense because you can go, oh, I want clean with boost. I want the BE channel and I want the BE channel with boost. And you can have it just run your foot switches, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. Yeah.
And then with our new software that adds a gate to everything, you can also, every setting can have a different gate setting, or every setting can have a different IR, or every setting can have a different presence or thump setting, whatever you want. It makes a lot of sense to have a MIDI controller.
Yeah, because without that, then
you're missing out on all the features and
all these,
versatility.
yeah, exactly. All those internal features that you can't adjust on the pedal itself.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So get on MIDI. Get yourself a MIDI pedal.
And if you need a small one, the Hotone Ampero MIDI pedal is awesome. If you can figure out how to use the software.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It took me for a little while to actually figure out. I just want to do program changes, God damn it. And I had to do severe searching to actually figure it out. And once I figured it out, I'm like, oh, duh. I get it now. Okay. Once you got it, you got it. It's fine.
Hey, by the way, I used my pedal board with the band the other night on Tuesday, Wednesday night. Today's Friday. Yeah, Wednesday night. I first time in a year that I got together with the guys and jammed. And yeah, the pedal board's great, man. I just
cool, man.
With the snake. I put the 4 fucking things in.
Boom, 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 boom. Done.
I'm like set up. Everybody else is still setting this shit up. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Well, that's what a professionally done pedal board does for you.
Yeah.
It makes your life simple.
I'm like, boom, I'm in. Everything's working. Oh, I'm like, yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I can go have a smoke. let them go to do what they got to do. Joshua Alanis, thanks for the super chat. Just got a Sir RL and have a 7350 watt non-master volume Marshall. Dave, have any experience favorite power amp to reamp it into a live 4x12?
Well, with a Sir reactive load, you probably want something that is pretty neutral, or flat, so to speak. What's really pretty cool is there's these CLA power amps for Chris Lord Algae power amps made for studio stuff. And they have different power. There's a single rack space one, a dual rack space one, and then a slightly bigger one. And they are really good class A-B power amps that really have guts to them, and they sound really good. I think the smallest one is the CLA 100. I don't know if that's necessarily enough, but that might be a good choice.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'd like to say an H&H, but it's kind of impractical and long gone.
Yeah, hard to find.
Yeah.
By the way, I would recommend everybody when you send in a super chat to tell me how to pronounce your name. I think that would be great. Just like Joshua here. I like that. Pronounced Alanis. That sounds great. Makes it easy.
And that's interesting because as it's spelled, I wouldn't quite think it was the Nice part was
I would have said knees.
Knees, yeah, Alan Knees, yeah.
That's what I would have said. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That's a great way. Unless you want your name butchered by Mark.
Yeah. Exactly. Which many have. Many have.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I can get this right. Daniel Bolensky. All right. Is that Czechoslovakia? Is that where he is? You would think.
Maybe that's what that is.
All right. Well, thank you wherever you're at. Appreciate it. Eventide Eclipse or H3000 as far as vibe goes.
Easy H3000.
Yeah.
H3000 has a thing about it. You just turn it on, it just sounds incredible. Although the Eclipse does a nice job, it doesn't have the same vibe as the H3000. It comes kind of close, but not the same. It's not the same. Just not.
Expect to pay some money.
So if you want the vibe, do the H3000.
Do they make a new version of that? Or you have to get an old one.
I don't think they make it anymore. So I think you have to get an old one.
You gotta get
that's a crapshoot in itself.
Okay. Dejana loves Paisley. All right.
All right.
Thanks for the super chat. Always love your show. Thank you. Well, you might not remember, we are a band from Germany and we play your BE 100 and Dirty Shirley. We were in your shop in the summer of 2023 and left you a copy of our album.
Oh, I do remember. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? I vaguely remember this. Yes.
Cool. I'll check out your band. Dejana loves Paisley. David Tickle. What's up? Hey, Dave, after having the mods done to my Marshall, is there any practices you would recommend me do to keep the amp in top shape? Like I like them crank between through my PS 100. Let it cool down or standby.
Nah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's nothing really. You can just flip it off if you want. It's fine. It's not going to do anything. And David, your amp is, other than me double checking it all, is done.
Nice.
So you this week we will be able to ship it out to you.
Cool. Enjoy it, David. Sonic Blue 1922. What's going on? Love my X88 IR Soldano. Me too. I've got one right there. But would like less gain on the crunch channel, i.e. 2 on the gain, maybe be more like 6. Any suggestions, tubes, mods, rack show, please?
Oh man. That's so interesting. You know what? I would have to do a little research on that one. I have to look at the schematic of it to recall what exactly was going on. You might be able to do that, but the problem is all the channels use the same tubes, right? So but if you change something, I'll have to look at the schematic. Email me and I might be able to answer that question a little more in depth. Might be able to do something.
And regarding the rack show, Dave and I talked about this. Like, we would love, obviously, to have Michael Torin and Nielsen back on.
What are we going to talk about that we didn't talk about in the last couple ones?
We went through like the actual agenda, like the list of things. Simon Hosford actually gave me all the topics that we discussed in that show, by the way. Thank you, Simon, if I didn't thank you. And I think I did. And we covered a lot of ground in almost 4 hours on that show. And I mean, it would be like like picking like 1 or 2 topics here or there that we didn't cover and a few things here and there. But I think overall, I think we're just going to let that show live. And
I mean, maybe we could do it again for a hang and rehash the same stuff we rehashed the first time. But
I mean, I'd love, I love those guys. So either way,
It's more
So-
like a hang at that point than it is
Yeah.
the rack show hang that we won't have the topics.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. You guys will have to come up with the topics. How about that?
Right.
You have to come up. You guys want us to do the show. You have to come up with the questions.
Yeah, just ask the question.
And we will do the best we can to answer them. I mean, we could do something like that, maybe. I'm spitballing here.
Yep. Oh, by the way, speaking of like guests, I got to get in touch with Dina. We got to get like Stone Gossard or Mike McCready from Pearl Jam on the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, especially Mike McCready is very, I don't know about Stone Gossard, but I know Mike McCready is a huge gear guy.
Okay.
So would be awesome to have him on. I was thinking I got to make a list, so we should make
we have to like literally sometimes chase these people down, people.
Oh, I know.
And then even if we chase them down, doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I'll do it, and then disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's tough.
Billy Howardale.
Did he disappear?
Kind of. Now he's going on tour, so it's like, oh, Jesus.
What happened to the guitar player, that guy Mark from Lamb of God?
I don't know.
Remember
what
they sent us that email that he came out with a solo album?
Yeah, what happened with that?
I never.
They sent us an email. Did we?
Yeah,
send it? Did we send it to Dina?
Yeah. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything.
Shit. Oh, we need him. Yeah. Wait, what happened? She might have dropped the ball on that one.
I'll write her.
Yeah, write her and remind or resend the email and like, let's get him on. That was cool record. That was cool. The stuff he was doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, I wanted to do that.
Yep. Okay, I forget his last name. Mark.
God. I don't either, but I bet you can find the email.
Yeah. No, I have it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's good. And Joe Holmes is going to come on, but I got to figure. You know what? I got to figure out a really good way to do dueling mics in here, so it's a little bit better than just one mic with two people, because these or I got to use a different mic because these SM7s are very directional.
Right.
So if you go too far off the mic, you lose it. So I might have to use a condenser mic for that if I'm going to use one mic so that you can hear everything. So I got to figure that out because he's got to come in because he's not a computer guy. But he'd be great here. It would be like the Jake show, you know. We'd do it in the same room.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So has Jake been playing at all?
Yeah, well, he has to. He's got to go do that show in England.
Right. Yeah. When is that?
He's playing a song. I don't even know when that is.
It's Ozzy's like last gig, right? Is that what it is? Or it's like a tribute?
Yeah, it's like a tribute more than anything.
Okay. Dejana loves Paisley again. How you doing? What do you think of the new Marshall M01 modified 100-watt plexi? Quality and sound. Cheers, Mark and Dave. Love your amps and work.
Okay, that's the modified plexi. I think if you want my honest opinion.
Yes.
So what they did was they tacked on a Jose pre-tone stack master to a stock. This is all they did. A Jose pre-tone stack master to a stock plexi Marshall. Their standard hand-wired Marshall. And from the pictures, now I'm not sure if they changed this at all, but from the pictures I've seen of the mod, there's like no shielded wire or anything. And I can only imagine there's tons of signal bleed that is not great. And it's not really the whole Jose mod. It's adding a pre-tone stack master. It still sounds like a 1959 kind of Marshall cranked up. It's not like a super high gain thing. It's not that it doesn't sound bad. It's fine to do that, but I mean, there's no loop. I don't know. It might make sense to look elsewhere for the price. Maybe. I mean, it's like that's poorly executed. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it doesn't. I mean, I've heard some clips and it sounds fine. It sounds good. But it's not super high gain though. It's not. Definitely not. You know. And by no means I'm not trying to slag Marshall on that exactly, but I mean, it's a kind of like little bit late maybe to the table, so to speak.
Yeah, well, there's just so many options, that you can get.
Yeah, that do a lot more. I mean, including the new Jose that I'm coming out with, so which gives you everything under the sun.
Yeah,
that he ever did. So,
and it's sanctioned by the family.
And it's sanctioned by the family, and it looks cool and well made. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. USA made transformers that are really good. They're gold. Not that that matters, but looks cool though.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Steve DeP. What's going on? Dave, longtime hand-wired pink taco owner.
Hair wired?
Hair wired. Hand-wired. Just got a 10-band MXR EQ. Awesome EVH tone. What is your preference in the effects loop or front of the amp?
I don't know. You tell me. What do you like better? I mean, honestly, I would sort of think in the loop, maybe. Well, in the loop is just going to sculpt the tone. It's not going to give you any more gain, so to speak. If you're looking for, which it doesn't really need any more gain for if you're doing that EVH stuff. If you want more gain, in front makes more sense. If you just want frequency carving, then in the loop makes sense. One of each. Have a little 6-band in front, and then have the 10-band in the loop. Endless possibilities of sounds.
Wow. And then you probably need a noise gate at that point.
Yes, probably.
Exactly. I just noticed that my lighting is so saturated. Like I'm like totally blown out.
Whatever. I mean, I gave up on my own.
I just like looking at it going, wow, I'm really like just can't even.
It doesn't look, actually, yours doesn't look that bad.
Okay.
I'm eventually moving my whole thing into another room here, and then I got a really expensive good light that's sitting in there, already hung on the wall, already waiting. But we've been so busy, I haven't had the time to actually make the move and get it all dialed in. I just need a couple days to do that,
Right.
I just don't have a couple days.
It'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. And then you're going to see a bunch of pretty Friedman amps behind me.
Sweet. But you're going to keep all those, obviously, where they're at. Your vintage ones.
Yeah, the vintage one. You won't see those anymore.
I got you.
You'll see a wall of Friedman.
Cool. Did I say this? Fowler 989. He says, "My bad. Dave's Choice BE100 is also a superb idea. Very exciting."
All right. Does anyone have any ideas in how that amp should look? Should I make it a color?
Well, here's the thing. Didn't you always say that you don't like the gold?
Well, I hate gold, but but I don't mind the B100 look because it's mostly black, and the gold, I don't mind the gold writing on stuff. So, but should I make it purple? I don't know. I could do anything. It's a limited run. You know what I mean? Yes, you could order in black, so don't ask me that. But I mean, part of me kind of wants to make it purple.
Well, that's cool.
But then again, if I make it purple, do I make the panels gold or black? Oh, fuck.
Black, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Although the gold looks really nice with the purple. So.
It does, but
yeah. So I mean, like this is the problem.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm making it camouflage with a pink panel. Okay.
That's Dave's choice. You can't have it your way. You're gonna have it Dave's way. Mr. Anderson.
That's it, Dave's way. That's it.
The Dave's way, exactly.
B100 Dave's way. DW. Actually, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah. Mr. Anderson, what's up, man? Hey guys, U.S. essentially shot itself on its feet since it started outsourcing in the early '60s. I'm an economist, derivatives trader, and could explain in full detail, but I digress. Good luck to all of us. LOL. Well, it's true. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, they had NAFTA, a lot of, but this is what happened with global trade and global production.
I don't necessarily think like a global economy is bad. I don't necessarily think that's true. I mean, like, yes, sure, we have loss, but people I mean, just can't exist now here. I can't physically work for the wages that produce a product that is at the price point you want to pay for it. I mean, do you really, if you're going to buy a new toaster, let's say, do you really want to pay $400 for the toaster? Hell no. You don't want to pay $400 for the toaster. You want to pay whatever, the $80 or $100. I don't even know what a toaster costs. I haven't bought one in so long. $80 to $100 probably.
I'm going to look on Amazon right now.
Or $60. It's like, everything's not made as well though. I have to give it that, and also the other misconception sometimes too with making something overseas is it's cheap. That's not always actually the case. Your iPhone's not cheap, right?
You can get a Black & Decker for $39.
So there you go. Yeah.
$40. And that's not made in the USA.
Of course it's not. Nothing is made. No appliance is made in the USA. I don't think.
$39. That is pretty crazy. $40.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem that you're going to have. You're going to have, when those shelves start going bare, it's just like, hey, I need a new refrigerator. Oh, well, you can't get it. It's almost like pandemic, but worse.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get it. You can't get the product. It doesn't exist on the shelf anymore. It's not here. Right. We can't bring it in.
Now your only choice is it's $3,000, $4,000.
No, there's almost no choice. It's whatever's left in stock.
Or USA made.
Is your choice.
Or
what? And tell me what refrigerators USA made.
There are none. I'm just saying, but eventually maybe.
Yeah. You're going to be dead.
Yeah, I'll be dead. Absolutely. That's for sure.
It will literally take as many years as it took to offshore it to come back.
Right. 20, 30 years. Yep.
Yeah.
40 years. Jay Stevens, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Dave, I have an opportunity to pick up a 67 Vox Silver Bell with your AC30s. It's tempting to get. I've never heard of a Vox Silver Bell.
Well, a Vox Silver Bell is aren't you referring to the speakers?
I guess maybe he's talking about the speakers, and then he's saying with your AC30, it'd be tempting to get
a Silver Bell. I see. Are you talking about a cabinet with Silver Bell Vox speakers in it? I mean, those are great. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there. I mean, we'll be offering that Vox in all right. Tentatively, we're going to be offering it in a 212 combo, a 112 combo, a head, and a Vox and a Vox style cabinet, 212 cabinet. Part of me wants to do just a 112 combo because people just don't like hauling around big combos, but in the traditional sense, I might offer the 212 combo too. So, and a head and cabinet is a must. That's better all around generally.
Right.
Because, the problem you have with any combo is stuff rattles. Like an amp in a combo, it just rattles. So if the tubes are microphonic, you hear a little ping. If the amp is vibrating the panels of the the back panel, it's causing vibration and stuff, and people hate that, and terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a common problem with combos.
Yeah.
Lots of vibration.
Mm-hmm.
The speaker's too close to the tubes.
Yeah. Vibration. Everything's a pain in the ass. But hey, we're gonna do it anyway.
Okay. Let's see. Riff Reaper, what's going on? Have you guys tried those crab amps from Ukraine? Looks like copies of amps, but way cheaper. Heard that the Marcus, which is 100 watts for $800, and I can't tell the difference between that and the Mesa Mark C2 Plus.
I have heard these. It's an interesting name.
Crab.
I have heard these. Yeah, and I did hear the Mesa one with the on what's his name's channel from Michigan. The metal kind of player from Michigan that is the shoot.
Oh, Kyle?
No. Man.
He's a
Sorry.
YouTuber?
I'm blanking. Not Tone King. I have a total mind melt right now, so sorry. I'm totally blanking. I'll think about it in this first. I'll come back to it.
Okay. Or you saw it on.
I heard it on his channel, and it does sound great.
Interesting.
So,
get anything out of Ukraine? Like,
I don't know how it gets here, but I mean, there's some other crab amps too, supposedly that they've done. They're copies of things, but it was the Mesa one was good, man. It was good.
Okay.
What the hell? Tone Wars.
Oh, Tone Wars. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Tone Wars.
Kenneth Yao. What's going on, Kenneth? Dave, what made you go with op amps with diode clipping versus cascaded FETs when designing the BEOD pedal? What are some of the good plexi sounding pedals? Thanks.
Well,
I think the
FETs are an interesting thing when you start getting into them, because you gotta kind of trim each one properly when you do it, and it's kind of inconsistent. I worked with a designer of the pedals that had some cool ideas, and we worked on it, and we just got a great sound out of it. So, I mean, the BOD is kind of a classic at this point. I mean, it's very amp-like. It feels very amp-like, and it's killer into a clean pedal platform, man. I mean, that's the way to. It's awesome. You want high gain into a totally clean Princeton or something? BOD is the way to go, man. That's killer.
Yep.
Or the small box pedal we make. If you want a little less gain than the BOD has, that's amazing sounding. If you ever watched the small box pedal, if you ever watched Pete Thorne's video of it, you'll see he'll compare that going into a Fendery clean channel to an actual 70s, early 70s Marshall 50 watt that's cranked, and it's almost identical in the video. And that's all from the pedal. So that's really cool. The small box pedal is actually a little, people are missing out on that one a little bit, because it's killer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good. Definitely a good pedal.
Yeah.
The other pedal I was going to say that's good, and a good plexi sounding pedal would be the Bogner Lagrange.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a Keeley pedal that I have. I have to grab it if I want to see which one it is.
Remember what the name is?
I don't know what the name of the pedal is. Let me see.
See, there we go. Oh my God.
It's the
Various Effects. The small box pedal is awesome. There you go. Thank you.
El Rey Dorado.
El Rey Dorado, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I've never even seen that.
No,
I just saw a nice tour of the the pedal show did, or Daniel Steinhardt did, of the Keeley factory.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was a great video.
It was a great video. It was awesome. A beautiful factory.
Robert is such a sweetheart of a guy.
I gotta go visit him one day.
He's so nice.
I'd like to do that.
Yep. Really, really cool guy. I mean, every time I've ever been interested in a pedal or a release or anything, he is just the nicest guy. He's like, I'll send it to you.
He's a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah. Just totally cool guy. Pedrito is best. Thanks for the super chat. I feel like we begged Marshall to do a modded Plexi, but now it's too late. Freeman BE 100 it is, or is it? Plus no effects loop. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly. I mean,
like that's what I was kind of saying, man. It's like a little bit too little, too late, sort of. I mean, I don't want to say this because okay, look, I'm a big Marshall fan. I loved Marshalls for years. I'm a big older Marshall fan, or at least through JCM 800 kind of era. And a lot of my inspiration obviously came from Marshall. I just did it earlier, maybe they should have jumped on this bandwagon
a long time ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, exactly.
That's true. Unfortunately, I mean, when I guess they sort of were when Santiago was there. He was designing some great products with them. Whether you like it or not, the JVM amp was pretty crazy with the amount of stuff you could do with it, and it sounded pretty good actually. And and all the
was that a MIDI amp? I think it was, right?
Yeah, I think so, or some of them were. And then he did the Slash AFD, and he did the Kerry King Marshall, and he did the Jubilee reissues, and great designer.
Yeah, no, we had him on. Santiago was great. It was a great episode with him. It was just unfortunately had a lot of ambient noise from the room that he was in, so it was like very echoey.
Yeah.
But that was early. That's
okay. On. And then you do couple that with his accent.
Yeah, it was a bit tough. But no, he's great. Really nice guy. Wish him well. Let's see.
I always laughed when Marshall came out with those at NAMM. The funny thing was it's the funny meme that existed that, well, I didn't do or anything, but the funny meme that existed was Marshall comes out with modified Marshalls or modified things or something. Friedman goes, "Hold my beer." And hence the Jose, like
right, exactly.
That was, I mean, I laughed so hard with that. That was funny.
Ted Furr, what's up, man? Hey Dave, would you consider putting out a Friedman IR JJ pedal based on the JJ amp? Please take my money, sir. Not anymore.
Not anymore, man. Jerry left us, so I'm definitely not doing any Jerry Cantrell based things. I'm gonna be like totally honest. You're not far off with the regular IRX. You're really not far off. I mean, there's a couple components different. It's not really that different.
Okay. Kaboom. Oh, Kaboom 22. What's going on? What are your thoughts on a parallel mixer in the effects loop and setting all effects to kill dry? Worth the effort?
Yes. Maybe. Depends on what effects you're talking.
You wouldn't.
I mean, if the effects have analog dry path anyway, like a lot of Strymons do and stuff, then there's kind of no point.
If you're using like a pitch shifter. Pitch
shifters, unfortunately, yeah, they no none of the Eventide pitch shifters or any of the Eventide pedals have analog drive path at all. The Boss pedals do, or can, depending on how you set them. So yes, and if so, I'd recommend the Musicom Labs Paralyzer. That's a great pedal, and it's kind of a switcher built in, so it also has foot switches, and or if you want to control it with MIDI, it's muting and not muting the inputs of the effects, just like a big rack rig would have been way back. So that's great. Highly recommend that. That's like almost the only thing in, other than RJM makes a little one, but it's not like a switcher involved with it too. So, I mean, it's, the Musicom's awesome.
Okay. Let's see where we're at. Dejana loves Paisley again. How are you guys? LOL, look elsewhere. Gotcha. Well, I guess we were fine with your BE100, Dirty Shirley, Magnatone, Super 59, M80, 59 HP Tweed Twin, and Plexi Marshalls. Yeah, I think
you're covered, man.
Yeah, you don't need anything else.
I think you're good.
You're good.
It sounds like you got a great stuff. Magnatone stuff's great. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, their combos are expensive.
They're expensive, but I mean, they're really nice, man. I mean, They sound good. I mean, the Magnatone stuff all sounds good. I mean, I can't say it doesn't. It's cool. Pretty cool.
Dolls and Gaming TV and Glavazuger. You want to go for that?
Angles. I have no fucking idea.
All right. There you go. What do you think about the Mesa Boogie Badlander?
Man, you know what? To be honest, I've never actually had one where I've got to play through it. I mean, I think it's just sort of very rectifier based. So if you tend to like rectifiers, then you're probably going to like that one. I haven't really, I've never had the chance to really play through one. I don't really love rectifiers that much. So that's me. So
okay.
Never had that great of an interest in searching it out and listening.
Jose G, what's up, man? Happy Friday. Thanks for the show, Mark and Dave. Make sure to hit like and sub. I agree.
Hey, like and sub. And maybe we should do our sponsors.
That would be good, right?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
All right, we're going to take a break here and towards the end of the show and do our sponsors. First of all, click subscribe and click the bell. All right, guys.
If you're not subscribed, why not? Just hit subscribe. I mean, I hit subscribe all the time, and then I never pay attention again.
Come on, well, give us a subscription.
Come on.
All right, and check out Sweetwater. We have a link below in the description of the video, and all our descriptions of videos. There's a link, affiliate link for Sweetwater. They are our sponsor of the show, and it gives a little kickback to our show if you purchase anything using that link. So we appreciate it. If you buy any gear off Sweetwater, please use that link. Check out fixpedalboards.com.
Yep. For all your pedal board lifts, little, pedal lifts, like really cool metal pedal lifts, interface boxes, sliding rack shelves, pedal board bridges that are like hingeable. Really cool stuff. You really should. We use them all the time in the builds that I do, and it's a great option for people.
Cool. And Thomann Music for our friends out in ex-US.
Yep. In Europe.
Yep.
In the EU. I'm sure you buy some stuff from Thomann. It's a big company there.
Yeah, we've got a link below, also affiliate link. If you want to buy something from Thomann, please use our link. Also, if you haven't signed up for your Jose amp, go to freemanamplification.com.
Now listen, before you ask, where is it? Just stay, when that Friedman amplification comes up, just stay there. The first thing you're going to see is about our software that just came out. The second thing that's going to scroll over is the Jose sign-up sheet. So just be patient. Don't scroll down. You'll see it. Okay?
All right.
Oh, and for any Friedman users that have an IRX, please download the new editor before you open your IRX on the old editor. Because if you open it on the old editor, you're going to send me an email saying, "Hey, my unit is cutting in and out on the clean channel." Well, that's because the gate's on, and you opened your product on an old editor, and it updated the firmware, and there is no controls on the old software for the gate. So you have to download the new software if you do that, and then you have controls for the gate, and then make sure you just press store to be sure. Once they're off, just then it's stored for sure.
Okay. Also wanted to thank our last guest. We had Brian, was it Brian Ranks, I think?
Brian Ranks
and Peter Margolis from Collecting Loud History. They just sent out an email the other day updating like people about their product, when it's going to be released, the book, and that they were on our show, which was cool. They gave a link to the show. So I'm looking forward to getting that book.
I thumbed through it. And it was, it's Marshall porn.
Yeah, exact Marshall porn.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're terrible. Not real porn, Marshall porn.
Marshall porn. Maybe Michael Nielsen will do a video of that.
I could do Silverface. I agree with you. I like that look. In fact, how all this came out years ago, I did an amp with Blankenship amps, and the initial amps were silver control panel with black writing, black knobs, and black head shell. And then, you get the emails. Oh, yeah, can you do it with a gold panel? Oh.
I actually like that. Black with silver face is cool.
I can totally do that.
Yeah. And even purple with silver face.
It looks really good, actually. So yeah.
That would look good. LCW. Hey, Mark and Dave, love the show. Dave, is there anything unique or novel about the Randy Rhoads mod on the Marshall 59? By the way, thanks for loving the show. We appreciate it.
The one wire mod, as it is known, not really. I mean, it's kind of weird, to be honest. It cascades a gain stage in front of a stock of 1959 lead spec, right? So it cascades the bass channel in front of the other channel, but you have no master volume, so to speak. So it's a bit weird. I actually have one sitting next to me here. The limited run they did of those. One? Yeah, it belongs to Doug Aldridge, and it's weird. I don't think it's that great, to be honest.
What's he doing to it?
It was messed up. I fixed it.
Oh, okay. Simon Hosford, what's going on, man? I was talking about you earlier. Oh, I did. Thank you. Cool. No need to. It was fun rewatching the whole 4 hours of the Rack show and indexing. That's funny.
Thanks, thank you, because that's pretty awesome of you to sit there and watch 4 hour show and mark it all down on what we're talking about.
I haven't met Simon in person, but I can tell Simon's a detail oriented guy.
Especially that's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah, and based on his playing, he gets everything right. He's a perfectionist, I think. So thanks for I really appreciate it, Simon. That was very cool of you. Dolls and gaming TV and blah 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 blah. 2 questions. What did you think about Engel Savagausser? Geeser?
What is this supposed to mean?
I don't know. Dolls and gaming TV and Engel Geeser. I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you think of the Mesa Boogie Badlander? Will you ever do an actual Freeman plugin? Yeah, he's already done Freeman plugins.
I've done Freeman plugins with Brainworks. There'll be future plugins also coming. And didn't I answer this already?
Did you say Badlander or was it?
It was Badlander is the last question we had about Mesa.
Huh. Okay. Maybe you're right. Yes, it was. And it was by the same people. So you're asking us twice.
Okay, we answered.
Yep, that's all right. Keep drinking. Bottoms up. Justin, no question. Just want to say I recently got into working on modding on old tube amps. I would be doing better if I had a fraction of the knowledge floating around in your head.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, as much as you know, you always learn new things, or you have things that you sort of know, and then all of a sudden you're looking at something and it sort of dawns on you something about that circuit. And you're like, oh my God, that's the same as if I did this. Oh, wait a minute. You know, you have this aha moment.
Right.
So to speak. And that still happens all the time. Aha, I see what this is doing. Got it. You know, and you just make a mental note in your head about it.
And that's 30 years of experience.
And that's what you're paying. You're paying when you have me mod an amp or something, right? You're paying for that 30 years of knowledge. That's what you're paying for. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with any trade or anything. You're paying for the knowledge of the person. You know, car mechanic or someone that plasters walls, if there's anyone that does that anymore. You know, there's a highly skilled trade that takes years to amass the knowledge, you know, for what you have.
Well, I think it's awesome, Justin. Keep up the work, man. It just takes time to get the experience. But nowadays, there's so much out there.
Easier. Yeah, this is great. This nowadays you have, you know who I had Bruce Egnator. That was before the internet.
Right. Well, thank God you had that.
And he was a wealth of knowledge for me over the years. And for a while the internet had a vast amount of knowledge about things. And some of it's been lost over time. Like when certain forums that used to exist went away, you kind of lost all the database that was in that, you know. And I actually find it there's less information now than there used to be on the internet about tube amps and stuff. Very interesting. It used to be you could almost search a subject, anything like, what's the difference between this tube and this tube, and a Mullard EL34 versus a JJ EL34, and you get this a diatribe of tons of information of people's opinions and stuff, and you don't get that anymore.
It's all lost on
it's lost. Well, so it's lost now. It's like a lot of those forums and stuff that used to exist that were pretty heavily into that have disappeared, you know, that they don't exist anymore, you know, and right. And so that information gets lost and never comes back, you know.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep. That was the benefit of those old forums.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to like way early, like Usenet news groups, you know.
Right.
Like way early, you know, in the
bulletin boards
with 90s, right? Or something, you know,
late 90s.
Usenet news groups, yeah.
Well, it could be even earlier, because I remember when Windows 95 came out. So I was on the internet when Windows 95 came out. And
Yeah.
so
Myself too.
yeah,
And
mid 90s. Yeah.
maybe late 90s. Yeah. But yeah, those Usenet news groups actually had lots of information that's gone. It's gone now.
That's true. That's true.
Damn it.
Jay Stevens, thanks for the super chat. I have access to 2 Silver Bell speakers. There you go. They were precursor to the Alnico Bell, to the best of my knowledge. Sounds superior to my ears.
No, I think the Silver Bells came after the Blues.
But he's saying the Alnico Bell.
Well, Alnico Bell. I think he means the Blues.
Blues. Okay.
So the Blues, actually, the Silvers came after the Blues. But the Silvers are great. It's almost the same thing. It's Alnico, though, I think, Silver Bells.
Okay. David Tickle, thanks for the many super chats tonight. Thanks for working on my Marshall, Dave. Can't wait to have the full ed spec with 6CA7 cathode filtering, fat cap variac. Thanks again.
Yep.
You
have to use your amp with the variac. Remember that, because it's biased for 90 volts.
Yep.
Do not plug it into 120. Unless you want to see your tubes actually melt.
That'd be fun.
I have had tubes come in that actually are melted.
The plastic?
Fuck no, the glass.
Really?
Where the glass is actually melted in, it got so hot.
That's hot.
It's insane.
That's like 2,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow. Dave Miller, is there a way to use the noise gate but bypass the cab IR on the Freeman IRJ? I'm running it into a solid state Rocktron power amp and cabs.
Yeah, just bypass the IR. The gate will still work. The gate is off the send. It's early. No problem at all. Just bypass the IR.
Okay. Jake Stutivos, thanks for the super chat. Any benefit to sending a Recto to Mesa compared to a local tech? Amp needs a new transformer. Trying to avoid high shipping.
Are you sure it needs a new transformer? If it's just a transformer swap, I mean, a local tech, if he's any good, should be able to do that. I would question, though, if it needs a transformer. It's not something that happens that often, that where you've blown up a transformer.
Okay. Let's see. Dave, are you going to put the 4 cable method in your IR preamp series like the Tone King?
Eventually, there'll be some new product down the road. Can't really say more about it at the moment. It's going to be a while, though.
This is good. You can't ask new questions, but the old Metro amp forums are backed up.
Yeah, some of the information is backed up, but there's still some stuff missing, like certain schematics and things like that don't exist anymore, because people had photo bucket accounts or different things, and those photo bucket accounts expired, or they don't have the thing on there anymore, so it's kind of gone. I've actually kept my photo bucket account, believe it or not. It's so antiquated at this point, but I've kept it just because there was so much information on it. I've actually pay for it.
Wow.
Just to keep the information. I should really just take it all off, and then I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah, just download it all, right?
I just haven't got around to doing that. I should do that.
Silver bells are silver Alnicos.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Vinny? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Vinny?
And Mario.
Vinny, I got some good tequila here. I know you like tequila.
What kind?
We got tequila ocho.
Oh,
which was given to me by a wonderful patron that walked in the door and gave it to me, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. But thank you if you're watching. And if you are watching, tell me your name in the chat.
I love me some tequila, Vinny says. Awesome. And same with Nielsen. I love tequila. Yeah, a margarita any day of the week.
No.
Yeah.
No. Too much sugar.
Yeah, it's true.
This straight tequila. Come on.
I'm a wuss. I need it mixed with sugar. Let's see what else we got.
Michael, get your ass over here then. You can have some tequila.
Joshua Alanis. There you go. Any takes on Rockafort amps? I've heard they're very good.
The only time I've really listened, you know what? I don't even know if I listened to it. I've modded a few for people, but I don't know if I actually listened to it. So I don't know if I have an opinion. Yeah, I mean, they were made well. It was cool.
Yeah, I've never played through one, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, it was good. It's good, I think.
Son of Pyro.
Look at my favorite orange Plex there.
Oh, nice. Picture. Oh, yeah. No question. Just a bit of grease for the machine. Thank you. Appreciate these tone talks. Thanks, fellas. By the way, the Plex and my twin sister, too, sound amazing through the vintage slant I got. Damn killer amp, Dave.
Awesome, man. Glad you like them. They're both killer amps. And they look good in that picture together. Come on.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know. It's good. The orange. I like orange.
Yeah, it's different.
Maybe we should make that amp orange. Really piss people off.
Jake, again, what's up? From the tech. The output transformer is defective, causing distortion and affecting the bass response. The hiss at idle is a preamp issue.
Huh. I'd be slightly questioning that. It just doesn't. I could be wrong. You could be misinterpreting what he said exactly, but I don't know. That's something I'd have to see. I don't know if that's a tough one to just diagnose here, It's potentially possible, but it's also potentially possible it's some other problem.
Okay.
And the hiss at idle, well, it's going to have hiss no matter what, but that could be a preamp tube. That could be all sorts of other things.
Purposeful Porpoise. Are Bad Cat amps reliable? I've heard things about their service. I've heard really good things.
No, I mean, Bad Cats are good amps, man. They're fine. They're fine. I mean, they're not. They're made well. They're fine.
Good people.
There's good people. Good customer service, as far as I know.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't think that's really an issue. So I wouldn't be hesitant about buying a Bad Cat.
I saw that John Thompson's going to be on the Malcontents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it hasn't already happened, I may have missed. I don't know. I saw they're going to be talking about Mark Sampson and the whole thing, kind of like a Mark Sampson.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have John on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Sampson and stuff. You know what really kind of irritates me is the fact that at NAMM, I didn't go up to him and just like reconnect. I just was busy and it was crazy and like I had seen him and I didn't because I mean he did the Vox I have sitting next to me and I'm like and they died. I'm like, oh fuck, I wish I would have at least said, hey, how are you?
Right.
It kind of just bothers me.
Hmm.
I wish I would have done that, you know.
Seize the moment.
Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible.
Yep. Yep. Especially he was coming out, starting to do stuff.
Oh, that amp is wonderful. It's just a wonderful amp. The one he designed for them. It sounds amazing. So
No, I think they're
yeah.
great company.
Yeah.
Dave, how would you describe the sound difference between your new Jose amp and the BE100 Deluxe?
Oh man, I mean, come on.
It's different flavors, man.
It's just a different flavor of this, it's a different flavor of distortion. It's the Jose is very traditional to what he did. The circuits are not there's no embellishing on the circuits. Okay. So there's no like, oh, I can improve that. I can do this. I can do that. None of that. It's literally verbatim the circuits that he did. So, at least if you took 100 amps and condensed them into one, right? So it's literally every mod that he ever did in, one platform. So how is it different? It just different voice, just slightly different voice.
Right. Okay.
It's hard to describe,
Yeah, no, it's hard. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've gone through all the super chats.
That's it? Come on.
Any opinion or experience with sonic tone amps from NOLA?
I have no idea what that is. So no. Someone else said, have you ever modded a 30th anniversary 6100 head? Marshall, that is. No and no. No, and I won't.
Steve V, you're welcome for the tequila.
Thank you, Steve. What's your last name? Come on. Give me a little more. But thank you very much. And I have already drank too much of it.
Can Fix-It pedals make custom heights on their pedal risers? I wanted to fit a RJM Gizmo X under it and put pedals on top.
Well, they offer many different heights on stuff. So I would look what they have already. You RJM Gizmo X. There might be one that's already high enough for that. Can they do custom? Theoretically, they can. That's a good question. I mean, yeah, I can get them to do it for sure, but look on their site and see the dimensions exactly. And see if there's anything that fits. If not, maybe we can get them to do something custom. I'm sure they would, actually. You might want to try to email them.
Okay. Vinny, when does the direct dry out of the SD3000 need to be connected? Does it need to be connected when it's in line with other pedals? I think it's standard.
The direct dry of an SD3000 connected.
I guess he means the dry signal path.
I mean, I don't know how to answer this. I mean, like the direct dry is just a dry out of what's, input coming in. You have a dry out, and then you have a mixed out. Wait, you have a delayed out. You have a mixed out, a delay out. Do you have a dry out also? Oh boy. I think you only have two outs. You have a delayed out and a mixed out on the SDE 3000. So
I don't know.
what are you talking about?
Okay.
The mixed out has a mix, obviously. The complete delay out is only delay. Not sure what you're talking about exactly. Sorry.
Okay. Burris Effects. How about another cleaning out of the gear closet sale show? Yeah, we're gonna have one. We will.
Actually, I've been cleaning a lot of junk out around here. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I have that I'd love to get rid of. Maybe not as crazy as the last one, but I can tell a few people right now. I have an original DD2 pedal, Boss pedal, the original era, first issue of the digital delay. And I also have a Boss CE2 chorus, also, original CE2 chorus that I bought and I'm just going to sell because I'm not using them.
Cool.
So I think off the top of my head, they're about a couple $100 each. So, hey, you can email me. And if you're interested in those two things, I'll just tell you right now, they're available.
Okay. Yeah, but we'll have another show. Let's see. Rummy. Dave,
we'll have another show, and then people will complain that the fact we're selling things on the show.
Right, I know.
If we have another show, people, remember, we're selling things. This isn't exactly high entertainment that's going to happen on the show. We're going to show you things, and we're going to sell them.
Right, that's it.
That's it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay? If you don't want to buy anything, don't watch it.
Yeah. We'll have other shows besides that. Rummy, Dave, I have the old version of the small box 50. There's not a resonance dial. Would an EQ in the loop make up for this? Going to see Michael Schenker's UFO set.
Nice. Awesome.
That's cool.
A small box has a resonance circuit. It's just preset at around 6 on a dial. So you do have the resonance circuit. You just don't have control over it. So you already have a good amount of resonance. It's set at about 6. So you can add the dial so you have control over it, but I don't think you need to add more at all. I would think if anything you need to subtract. And yes, an EQ in the loop would be able to make up for that. And Michael Schenker, man, I'm jealous. Man, I'd like to see that myself. Cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Sorry, I'm eating a chocolate. I need
chocolate.
I need energy.
That's just so not something I would do.
No?
No.
Well, you're drinking alcohol.
I can just stop.
Luckett, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. I think this is the last one. Oh, then we got one more for the night. Hey guys, thinking of getting rid of some stuff. How much difference is there between the Synergy stuff and preamp pedals, etc., compared to the real amps, especially into a tube power amp? They're pretty close, man.
Man, the Synergy stuff, we always design it to sound like the amp into the, like, say you have the Synergy power amp and you have the Synergy preamp. We always A/B that to the amplifier that it's mimicking, and we try to get it as close as humanly possible.
I think it's close.
Yeah, it's really close. It's really good. Synergy stuff is great. So, I mean,
yep. Joshua, Alanis, Marshall, major story for you. Loud with a big muff and a wah for feedback in the studio. 3 layers of ear protection. I hit a note in front of a cab. Volume was so tremendous it shook the body and gave the saddest, depressing, and impressive sound.
Awesome, man.
3 layers of ear protection. Funny. Farwin Fondum. Man, I can't. Farwin Fanudum.
Man, I have no idea.
You guys are killing me.
Man, 110 volt and 220 volt gear in the same rack. What really? How are you doing that?
You need like a step
transformers or things. Grounding tip. Jesus. I don't know. I would need to know more about what you're doing in order to give you any grounding tips. Unfortunately, sorry. Feel free to email me and torture me some more about your grounding.
That's funny.
I'm not joking though. I feel free to email me about it. I mean, like, I welcome the torture.
Any recommendation for amping up an IRJ through its effects return?
Amping up an IRJ. What do you mean by that?
Putting like a buxom boost through it.
I mean, but I don't know what amping up. What does that mean?
Yeah.
I can't answer that because I don't know what that means.
Dave, what is your preference for amp attenuation for Pink Taco amp, bedroom player?
Turn the master down.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really think you need an attenuator.
You don't really need it. To turn it down to almost nothing. It sounds great.
L. Scott. So with Synergy, if you use a Synergy power amp, you get what was intended. With another amp, you were getting something new, different.
Well, I mean, whatever power section you're going into will impart a different sound. So, yes. If, like, for instance, you have a Syn 2 or Syn 1 and you're going into a Mesa Boogie power amp or a Marshall power amp or whatever power amp, will have a different, slightly different coloration to the tone than you would the ideal. Like the Synergy power amp is always something we're listening to and comparing directly to the actual amp with the preamp module. But yeah, you know, if you're using a DeVille and you're using an Engel module, yeah, does it sound exactly like an Engel? No, it can't.
It'll be close.
Will it be cool? Yeah, it'd be cool. You know, will it be better? Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, that's it's power amp dependent. Yeah.
Carson's amplification. What's going on?
Hey, man.
What's up, Brian?
What's up, Brian? How are you?
Good to see you.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
I love his logo. Brian, you got the coolest logo ever.
And the cat and the construction
and the head shell. Yeah, man, that's cool shit.
Yeah. Donovan Kim. Hey, Dave, any thoughts or opinions on the Marshall Studio Silver Jubilee head? Quality construction, is it worth the 1300? Sorry,
it's probably worth the 1300. I mean, that's not a lot of money. Construction of all the SV20 and the 800 version of it,
they're good.
The quality's good. It's fine. So I would think, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you like this, what a Jubilee sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. I think we
exhausted it.
We've exhausted it. Well, we got one more question here from Barry. Hey, Dave, preferred structure selection, ABC on the new Syn 20, using a 2x12 vertical Friedman cab.
All right, I'm going to just say this. Use your ears. And there's no right or wrong there. Just use what do you want to hear? Click between them and tell me what you like. It's not, there's not one right or wrong thing. It's just what you like.
Okay. Marcelo Paiva, what's up? Thanks for the super chat. Thinking of buying a Soldano. I've been trying to justify a 100, but don't think I can. How do you like the SLO 30, Mark? Well, I sold it.
It's pretty good though.
It's a good amp. It is, but I also got the
X88.
Sorry. Okay. I bought the X88 IR rack, so I didn't really need two Soldanos. So I sold the 30 that I had. It was in the rack right over there, and I sold it. Plus, it was very similar to the EVH Stealth that I have right there. So I kind of felt like, I've got the ground covered with the SLO 30. So I didn't really need it. So I sold it. But if you don't have something that sounds like that, then I'd get the 30. You don't really need the 100 unless you're playing stadiums. The 30 is loud. It's very loud. My favorite part of that amp was actually the crunch channel, not the the overdrive channel is great, but the crunch channel is great. It just sounded very open. You played it loud, like you just crank it up, and that amp sounds good when you're opening it up loud. So so that's what I would suggest, Marcelo.
Hello.
Hey, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Nature called. What are you going to do?
Dave, Sammy just put out new music. Are your fingerprint on his tone? Oh, Sammy.
Sammy uses all the Friedman stuff. So, yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Sammy's
his new band. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They're great.
Cool. Dave, you're the greatest. Love to hear some stories working with Grover.
Grover's an interesting character. We love him.
Yeah, Grover's the best. Go see our first episode with Grover.
Yeah, we love Grover.
Yep, he's a good guy. So, all right. Well, I think we've gone through all the questions. We'll have some. Check out our stuff on social media, please, because we'll have upcoming guests soon, and we'll do another one of these shows soon as well. And check out again Sweetwater. Make sure you hit subscribe and all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
Well, we appreciate you guys watching the show. We really do. And that's it.
Grover, the best Muppet. Oh my God, I never really thought about that, but yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. I know I will.
I'll be working tomorrow.
Oh,
I might even be working Sunday.
Well, I won't.
My wife's out of town this weekend, so of course, what am I gonna do?
It's party time.
Party time. No, go to work.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going on vacation May 17th through the 25th.
Where are you going?
Going on a cruise to the Southern Caribbean.
Wow.
Aruba, Curacao.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. 8
cruise,
nights.
huh?
Yeah, but we're doing it right. We're getting like a big suite, and it's gonna be awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I can't wait. So
awesome.
So yeah, we won't have any shows then, but yeah, everybody have a great weekend. Wait, Burris Effect says when Grover was first on the show, he talked about how much he was enjoying the old black and white Sherlock Holmes movies with Basil Rathbone, and they're free on Tubi, so I watched them and they're great. Huh, that's funny.
Oh, awesome, man.
Lives in
I don't
Florida,
even remember that.
lives in Florida, goes on a cruise. I don't get it, bro. What do you? I went to Europe last year. You know, like I go all over the place, so I've been plenty of places.
Dina and I are talking about going on an Alaskan cruise.
Well, that would be amazing. Yeah.
So,
but for me, I wouldn't do
I've
that.
never been on a cruise ever.
I mean, it depends if you I see. I don't like dealing with a lot of people, so
Yeah.
that's the problem. So
yeah. So you're going on a cruise?
Yeah. I mean, where would you suggest that I go in Florida? I'm not really sure about that comment. So, but yeah. I have a friend who lives in Alaska too, and he's always telling me you got to come out. It's just not my thing. You know, I don't know. I'm more of like a New York. I'm more of a city guy. That's just kind of me. You know.
Last trip I had to New York was amazing. Holy crap!
Yeah, I love New York.
Did you ever wind up going? Weren't you supposed to go?
No, we canceled that trip because of.
Oh, fuck, man, you should go.
I know we were going to stay at the Roxy.
You have to stay at the Roxy, man. You got to go. You got to stay there.
I think I canceled it when I found out about the thing with my kidney thing.
Yeah,
but
you got to go.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
You're the Roxy. You'll love it.
I can't wait. Yeah, absolutely.
The hotel's amazing. It's just got a great vibe, and then you just walk around the city. We walked far.
Yeah, you always do.
Holy crap!
Tons of walking.
Like what? At one point in time in the day, we're like, my son and I were like, yeah, let's. My son and I went to the Empire State Building, which is a hell of a walk from the Roxy.
Oh yeah, that's a walk.
That's a walk, but we walked it.
Yeah. That's like 2 miles probably.
And you start getting into the walking part when you're there. You're like getting into it. It's just like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Once you're there, you're just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And you walk through the city streets and you're just like, eventually you get there.
Right. Yeah. You talk,
and,
Yeah. No, it's great.
But that hotel is really good because it's like close to Chinatown. It's not too far. There's a subway station right there. It's just like perfect.
Yeah, and it's got a cool vibe.
It's like got a vibe, and it's got a thing. It's they're nice. It's like the rooms are nice, and bed was incredible. God, the bed was good. That's important as you get older.
You're close enough to drink around the world at Epcot, right? I've done that before. I have done that. And you get the turkey leg, and you're walking around. And, let's go to Germany. All right. That's funny. All right, well, guys, have a great week.
Oh, El Scott music. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, but crossing a New York street it's an adventure.
Well, if you're drunk,
this is true. No, the crossing the New York street. It's like we were like the crossing. Signals, right? The crossing signals. It's like that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion. You can walk now, but that's a suggestion. You cannot walk now, but that's a suggestion because no one follows any of the fucking crossing signs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or I know the way people drive.
Yeah, it's a suggestion.
Oh yeah, the Food and Wine Fest at Epcot is awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Let's see. Wait. Yeah, Vinny told me also the Roxy is amazing. So
yeah, Roxy's amazing, man. And the tequila. So is the tequila place across the street we went.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So okay. Well, look, guys, have a great weekend.
Awesome.
We love doing these shows and having you here. So thanks. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.